Okay, so I have a secret that I've been holding from y'all for a very long time, and I think it's time that I finally show y'all the real me. And be honest with y'all, I'm an African American male. I know it's crazy, digest it and let it sit, let it marinate. But in all seriousness, I'm a black male in a community where, to say the least, I am not the majority in terms of population. My content is heavily inspired by commentators in other communities, such as a Sean C in the hip hop community, Legend of Winning, aka Low in the basketball community, Flimlo Raps in the football community, and recently my favorite out of the bunch, FD Signifier in the black community. And what do all of these content creators have in common? They are all black men in a black male dominated community. I, on the other hand, am very much the minority in the wrestling community. Yes, we have content creators such as BDE, Suplex, Ibu of Wrestling Purists. Well, kind of. Just finished editing this video, but I want to throw this in there in the middle of it. Make sure you hit that like button so it really helps in the algorithm, and also consider hitting that subscribe button. I got a huge project coming out about, spoiler alert, Chris Jericho. So if you can hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, I would definitely appreciate it. Oh, and also follow me on Twitter or X, whatever one you want to call it. I give my daily thoughts on there. I'm always active. Follow me on Twitter as well. Thank you. But with that being true, for every BDE, there is 10 Simon Millers. For every Suplex, there are 20 JDs from NY. For every Ibu, there are 30 Sean Ross Sapp. I feel with my platform, I have the responsibility to speak up when I see something wrong, especially when the wrong is towards people who look like me, given the fact that I am rare as in my demographic in this community. With that being said, if you know me, I am not one to pull the race card. My race card is as good as new, as I lean towards forgiveness for wrongdoers in the past and benefit of the doubt for those accused of doing wrong in the present. And if you read the title, you would know that I'm near being done with the benefit of the doubt towards this company, and specifically the face of it, Paul Triple H Levesque. Long story short, the WWE is in this Triple H era. Triple H is basically the boss of the company. He's the head of creative. He's the last to speak at the press conferences, and he shows his face whenever he deems fit to remind us that he's in charge. I mean, it's called the Triple H era for a reason, and it's been relatively great so far. Ticket sales are at an all-time high. Ratings are doing well. It's a broken record every time they break a record. But there's one glaring stain on Triple H's report card, and it's his treatment of African American wrestlers. More specifically, male African American wrestlers. As I'm writing this script, a black male hasn't won a singles pay-per-view match since July 30th of 2022. There was a 3 pay-per-view stand where there was no black male wrestlers on the card at all. And this was last year. And I have to hold myself accountable because I defended this for 4 main reasons. 1, Triple H has about 4 to 5 matches per card. 2, other minority male wrestlers have been on cards such as Dominic Mysterio and at the time World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest. 3, the division was dominated by 2 very black women, Jade Cargill and female John Cena, as I like to call her, Bianca Belair. 4th reason I defended Triple H against this criticism was, what black male wrestler really deserved a spot on the card? Carmelo Hayes is still being built up. I really don't want to see Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins break up. R-Truth is a comedy gimmick. The New Day is stale. I chalk this up as bad timing and bad booking on Triple H's part. Not really racism. I've never been one to want a token black person to get an opportunity just because they're black. I want them to get it because the crowd is behind them and they earned it, just like Bianca Belair, Kofi Kingston, Big E, R-Truth. So I defended Triple H. That was until February. And if you are unaware, as I know some of my audience is not from the US, February is Black History Month. It's a month where we celebrate the accomplishments, milestones, and stories of legends with melanin. A month WWE has never had a problem celebrating until now. And as I'm writing this script, we are 26 days into Black History Month, and WWE hasn't made a post, a video, a tweet, a Facebook status. I don't even think Michael Cole has said anything about it on television. This is not okay. And me being who I am, I can almost look past this if the month didn't start with a white man whipping a black man on television. If you didn't have known racists like Hulk Hogan make a return a month earlier, if you didn't have Triple H saying he doesn't see color.
Fox run the ropes. There's been some reports that leading up to Bad Blood regarding the representation of black male wrestlers within WWE. They haven't been on a PLE in the last 3 cards. There was no black male wrestlers on the Bad Blood card. How do you gauge between making sure that there's representation and making sure that there are wrestlers that get opportunities that are deserved?
I see everybody gets the opportunity. Like if I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color, I don't see the nationality, I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference between men and women. I see talent. We tell stories with those talent, how they can handle those stories and how they can represent those stories and how we can bring those stories forward.
Which is one of the worst defense for racism, up there with I have black friends and shit like that. We got a serious problem. If this was WWE's MO, I would have no problem. But again, this company has never had a problem celebrating black legends like The Rock, like Kofi Kingston, like Mark Henry, like Farouk, like Junkyard Dog. My only question is, why now? Why this year, where we may need this sign of appreciation the most, do you not at least give us a post on Facebook or Twitter celebrating our legends? There's no real excuse I can accept. I just at least want an explanation to why we're ignoring the history of African Americans during the month of celebration. You have no problem using our culture when it's convenient. All we're asking is the same appreciation in return. It's not just the lack of celebration in the post, it's the insensitive storylines, the way you did Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, the way you did Booker T in the past, The Rock being black when it's convenient for him, the way y'all did Kofi Kingston, bringing back Hulk Hogan multiple times in spite of black wrestlers' opinions upon it, etc., etc. So I'm saying all of this to say, no, I don't think WWE or Triple H is racist, but it's getting very, very hard to defend. WWE needs to understand we are big fans. Wrestling is huge in our community. I grew up on wrestling. Wrestling is a huge reason I am the way I am. It's a reason I am where I am. When people were outside doing nonsense, when, I was hearing police sirens, when I was hearing a whole lot going on, I could always escape with wrestling. Even when the man on my shirt, Triple H, was on top and I wasn't even a fan of him, it still gave me an escape. So I'm just really confused, because at a time where you're using our culture, our slang, our music, or even crowd celebrations to get you more money, like, what do you think Yeet came from? Even the sound, like, even this, you know what I'm saying? That was happening in black crowds and hip hop crowds before it was Jey Uso doing it. I don't want to take credit from Jey Uso or whatever. Even like when you think about John Cena and how he came up, before it was the leader of the C Nation, it was the doctor of Thugonomics. He came up off hip hop. Even ask him, and he will, and to his credit, he will give black people, he will give hip hop, he will give Tony Yayo the credit they deserve for helping him get over as a character. And again, I am not someone who thinks that a black wrestler should be on a card just because there is no black wrestlers on the card. But we can't even get a post. We can't get a shout out. Not even for us, the fans, the black wrestlers who broke barriers and dealt with so much. And I can only imagine what the horror stories of being a black man in wrestling. And I'm not even talking about the wrestlers of my era. I'm talking about the Junkyard Dogs. I'm talking about the Farouks. I'm talking about even a Mark Henry, because he was wrestling before I was born. It's disrespectful to them, and I'm low-key kind of disappointed that no black wrestlers are speaking up. I don't know what the conversations is behind the scenes, but it's very disappointing for a company that I love so much seem to just ignore a community. And like, not even, again, I could ignore a lot, but we can't even get a post on social media. We can't even get an acknowledgement of Black History Month. This is not and for some reason, sexuality has been politicized, so I could maybe understand you not doing a Pride Month post. But Black History Month, that is a skin color. That is something you are literally born at. Again, I can understand, and the reason I say I can understand not posting for Pride, because that can be for some fucking reason divisive. I don't see how sexuality can be divisive, but I can maybe see the argument for that. Maybe. Not really, but maybe. I'm being very graceful here. In no way should celebrating Black History Month be divisive at all. It is very fucking disappointing. And say whatever you want about AEW and their style of wrestling and their style of television and the way they treated CM Punk or the way they treated Ricky Starks or Cody Rhodes. They at least posted us. You know what I'm saying? They at least posted Black History Month. They at least acknowledged Black History Month. It's already the shortest fucking month of the year. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. If you're going to use our music, if you're going to use our slang, if you're going to use our even crowd motions and shit, if you're going to take from our culture, at least acknowledge us. We're big fans. The Black community is big fans of wrestling. It helped a lot of us escape the bullshit. We would just like the same appreciation in return. You can't use our culture and not celebrate us like we celebrate you. Get it together. It's heartbreaking for real. I don't know. I try not to. Yeah. Hey, future Mike, just finished editing this video, but I want to throw this in there in the middle of it. Make sure you hit that like button so, it really helps in the algorithm. And also consider hitting that subscribe button. I got a huge project coming out about, spoiler alert, Chris Jericho. So if you can hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, I would definitely appreciate it. Oh, and also follow me on Twitter or X, whatever one you want to call it. I give my daily thoughts on there. I'm always active. Follow me on Twitter as well.